Mark Selby, the defending champion. O'Sullivan seeded second as world champion. 8 frames then to play this afternoon. This could be a real winter warmer for snooker fans.
Mark has played the best. He was very, very proficient last night. He was better than that with 3 back-to-back hundreds.
One.
Good red, but no obvious colour unless he wants to cut this in. It's quite this on, but a little cut back can be missed. Very positive shot from Selby, and I think he'll...
9.
Many snooker fans will recall Selby's first ranking final.
Very hard, completely rebuilt his game.
6.
Came back a very different proposition. He was good then, but he's a winner now, a champion.
And certainly a final against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ooh, he's missed that one though. Just as things were looking good in this opening frame.
Yeah, missed it by a way, didn't he? It was a player you'll want to watch play. What a shot that is.
1.
Not on the colour.
Ronnie Sullivan 1.
No disrespect on that shot. It's the kind of table. Got a bit lucky there. He lost control of the red.
It's me he did it against. It wasn't just me he tried to tie up in knots. That's how he plays. I think it gave him a slightly different perspective on Mark Selby as a player. And so he'll be prepared today for Mark Selby led most of the way. O'Sullivan dug in and got the win as Selby knocks that in. So the impasse is broken.
Well, there's your KISS Championships as we saw. Here's the first time.
Oh, I missed.
Here. Well, he was the first time. I think it was worth persisting with that, you know. I don't see it like this, though. The whole idea maybe was to unsettle, but he won't be unsettled by having the frame at his mercy.
He was just a centimetre away from hitting the red. So Selby's second good chance. Of course, he missed a red. Normal final between 2 top players. There's a lot of history between them.
9.
That's not a good shot. He definitely played to cannon the right-hand red.
7.
Managed to get the other side. Anything I will say, side there on this shot. Anyway, well played.
25.
Of course, it was O'Sullivan he beat to win his first ranking title, 2000.
33.
So it looks like first blood Selby. Of the whole final. It's been fascinating seeing how the 2 players are approaching it, how they're feeling early on. Selby, you know, missed that red early on, but ultimately he...
Yeah, Sullivan pulled that red to the middle at pace and tried to develop. Then, of course, carried on where he left off.
Well,
That's Selby.
will
50.
O'Sullivan play on?
1.
Well, he claims not to practice at the venue on the invitation. Trying to get a bit of practice in. It is not the most tranquil place to practice from. It's not for O'Sullivan. Lost at the end of them.
8.
Yeah, it's quite difficult.
It's a bit more chaotic than Glastonbury. When you get out there.
15.
Well, he wasn't just trying to pot some balls there. He's trying to get... I mean, I don't even know how many snookers he needs, but it's too many.
2.
It's not going to bother Selby.
5.
I don't know what the record is for the amount of snookers gained for occasions, haven't we?
Well, there are all sorts of stories, aren't there, from the old Norbrecht days of people getting snookers in double figures, but
That's Selby. 9.
well, he's not conceding.
This is the point, isn't it? I mean, most players would happily hit a couple of balls to get the snookers still.
Well, if you've been looking to make a cup of tea but don't want to miss any of the action, this could be the moment.
Five. O'Sullivan. 5.
Well, this is what happened with O'Sullivan and Elaine Robidoux. Needed a load of snookers on the pink. And O'Sullivan, when he had chances to pot it, didn't. So just carried on for 10, 15 minutes with nothing happening. But that ends it.
6.
Get the feeling Selby will pot the black as well, just to make his point. Time.
13 in the frame.
So, 1 down, 16 of 11 in succession. Of course, O'Sullivan at the World Championship went past Hendry's all-time record for ranking titles with...
Was a slight concern whether red is going to go on that shot. Playing it with left-hand side, I think, to try and avoid the reds. It's a good shot. It's hard to play without any pace. If he's gone enough, he's very unlucky. Because it was a good shot.
Oh.
Did well.
1.
Wow, I didn't
That's
really
Selby.
expect him to miss that. He was up very quickly. Yeah, I think he knew. that he
1. Eight.
couple of reds at the bottom of the bunch, as you can see. We potted.
60.
It wasn't very. That's a nice split. He played it nicely.
24.
Sullivan to get going today. Entries this week. I suppose you might expect more, but I won't go on about the tip again, but we know he's had various lose yesterday. Li Hang basically had him in that match, but didn't beat him.
He's always been so good at recovering those shots, though. Little thin cut to the middle, difficult cannon. Nice cannon, that's very well played. He might not be on the ready.
48.
Sullivan's got.
$54.
Very true, Dave. I think what it is, he puts the ground. The question is just joining the dots. That's how he plays.
62.
Some players, the break gets more difficult as the hard shots up.
So one more red.
$65.
Well, he had the opening, didn't he? Potted the long red, missed the black.
72.
If you're doing it just to play the compliment or whatever you want to call it, that's a different story.
Brian Sullivan, 72. And
We talk about the capacity for shocks early on, and you do get quite a few, but look at the finals this season, the three finals. Judd trumped Neil Robertson at the English Open. Judd trumped Ronnie O'Sullivan at the North.
1.
Brave shot. That's a terrific shot. Serves the cue ball to get beyond the blue. Struck it nicely.
6. $14.
Oh,
22. $28.
Tiny bit straight. Not perfect by any means.
Foul.
Rather surprising. Caught these a bit thick. Gilball's not travelling as far as he hoped. Red's opened up more than he expected. Half a chance for. Well, it's a disappointing miss, actually. Might cost. It's the one way you invariably will leave the shot on.
$9.
He's got not a great deal of work to do here. I mean, everything's so.
$50.
it's not like bottom on lead and then get in front coming back tonight. Sullivan played on even with pink and black on.
Yeah, good point.
41.
Behind Snookers.
Yeah, I've noticed now there's different grades, isn't there, of fake applause? Capacity at the Masters in January at the Alexandra Palace. Obviously, we can't see crowds and making the atmosphere.
54.
The half chance that Sullivan got, he never got particularly close
62.
to. Yeah, so I think he just pushed it onto. It's the final ranking event. So I think should he win today, which of course he's not anywhere near doing yet, you know, he'd be quite relieved these days, always has been. The way he plays at the moment, the intimidation factor is definitely in there as one of the reasons.
When it's in a final or whether it's at the Crucible, you know, a big occasion. I'm deep in quite a few other tournaments.
84. 89. 95.
This black for Mark Selby. Nicely done. Clearance of one. Been another very good week. Of course, the first day there was all sorts of chaos because a lot of the COVID results hadn't come back and matches were delayed. Some matches were held over, but the team here. And then, of course, overnight they've got a
Sullivan unwilling to open the bunch up, playing safety shot in that way. But he may have left that red all here. So it doesn't matter so much when you miss them.
One.
Having said that, just one red sticking out. Shots. Just slid off them slightly.
Nine.
It's the cue ball there.
Ronnie Sullivan, 9.
the two at the moment.
Thin. Still managed it though. Good shot.
1. Six.
He won 5-3.
14.
That was noticed. It was pitch black, so jet lagged as he looks to get into them.
Yes, is that shot that Selby got in from? Not going to hurt him greatly, that little
Mark
break.
Selby, 21.
Finishes it off with a good safety shot, though. I don't know which side.
1.
Right.
7.
Go the other side.
14.
Yeah, and he's eventually missed.
Mark
Chance when he came to the table.
1.
Well, that seemed to kick. Well, how does he finish there? Now if this bottom red goes in. He's missed a few into that pocket, you know.
Bernard Sullivan, 8.
Well, it didn't make any difference to the pot.
That's a very good pot.
1.
Where's he going to end up, though? Played very confidently now. This is a chance to win the frame.
4.
Selby looking to win it, get himself 3-1 up. And then there is the prospect, of course, of pulling away. First things first, get this frame won.
12. $20.
I think it's a fair reflection of play.
25.
3-1 Selby.
Yeah, of course, he made the century, 102 in frame 3. Free ball with the last red. But he's sort of forcing O'Sullivan into...
1. $8. Bernard Sullivan, 8.
Good effort. I think this is a little different. There's a...
$2.
Yeah, 3-1, I think, definitely.
Mark Selby, 2. $3. $7.
Remember, it's first to 9 to win the Scottish Open. Mark Selby looking to defend the title. At number 19 of his career.
12. Mark Selby, 12.
I think we should be going off 15 minutes now, personally.
6.
Well, thank goodness the pink went in, and thank touch. 3 of the 4 were back level again.
Well, Selby was lucky there. Anyway, for us, it's engrossing viewing. Play. Safety shot with a good look about it. Handy kiss there on the green. That's one of those. Couldn't quite manage it. Here, playing this shot for safety. Thought he couldn't leave anything, but of course the red that you're playing is always so he was a bit lucky to get away with that. First I thought the red cut actually, but
Foul. A miss.
Well, looking for a thin edge, but got no edge.
Sullivan, 4.
that's a good shot. Second time up, it was worth the 4-point foul to get there on take 2.
One.
All right, he's more than happy with that result.
Remember, Mark Selby's won 50.
$15. $22.
Make it a frame-winning break. For now, can only
29.
concentrate on pulling.
$36. $43.
Red.
$49. $56.
That's not.
That's Selby 62.
62. Fancy him to potentially make a winning break, but he's got to get in first.
Yeah, but you just feel that at the moment the match is being played more on Selby's. Right, the other colours are the yellow. He certainly tried to. Difficult shot. And also to open the reds and get up the table at the same time. He hasn't really done it to the left of the table. It's a great effort, isn't it? With his wrong hand.
Sullivan 14.
Oh, good grief. The cue ball has hung on, and what a difference.
Well, he's also...
It didn't sound like a very good contact.
No, and I think he's left the red on. He's not happy.
44 behind, 59 on.
1.
Possible counter-attack here. Ball's not
Nice.
impossibly placed for a clearance.
Missed much, he just hasn't had that much to go at.
Sixty.
It's off straight, so it's okay.
24.
Those colours may look difficult, but actually get behind the yellow. Probably the
33.
oh, that's okay. They may
36.
be happy with that. That's a good.
40.
Pulled one of these out the far yesterday, didn't he, against Liang, which...
45.
Oh, this is why he's world champion. He's dug himself out of a hole here.
Yeah, you could not call that a straightforward clearance, but Ronnie O'Sullivan has made it not... It's their 9th meeting in
He won that frame. And you're right, Selby might have been a bit unlucky with the kick that he got, but he could have put the frame away before then. Pretty good. Unusual shot. I think this week would suggest he is. I'm surprised he went for that. I thought it was a risk he didn't have to take. I mean, you could have left.
1.
Selby can still have a significant lead coming back this evening.
Eight.
So this cube will have to travel for the low value colour.
11. Yeah. 17.
It's the sort of frame where, you know, it'll be there a while to make 30. You know, it's
21.
He's played that well to finish topside. Gives him a few options. Not a good shot. There is a red.
27.
Again, it's all hard graft.
32. 33. 39. Yeah.
Well, I think he believes that was a kick. It sounded a little.
45.
He hit it beautifully. So almost.
really cautious after what happened in the last frame in a very similar situation.
It's right away from the pocket and playing safe. Played it pretty well.
In terms of breaks, a century and 4 half centuries. But the red's not in. It's a big chance, that.
One.
I think he got hold of it too much.
Sullivan, 8.
He's bewildered as to how the red ended up the other end of the table. It's not so bad as all impossible. And like I say, the colours are definitely not. To avoid the pink. Pretty good.
One.
Wow, what a knuckle that was. Well, it was an incredible knuckle. Now I've seen it again. The fact that he got on the black with an angle.
Well, you heard the sigh out of the pocket.
One.
He's going to need.
Eight.
Well, he's not potted that, so 2 snookers required.
Chance now.
One.
Well, maybe not. Somehow trying to pot it. Don't understand that. Means he's not giving the frame up at least, but he couldn't get behind him than he had. He was unlucky to finish there, I have to say.
Well, the red goes in, it removes any doubt, as it is. You know, there is still a chance here.
Quite amazing with O'Sullivan, isn't it? How hard he's been. Hendry in the UK, 4-1 down in the best of 17, just walked out, didn't he? Now he's playing on when frames are... I mean, this frame I understand a bit more, but the fourth frame, he's trying to play on with just a black left and allowed to... You've got to stop somewhere. So he's very different plan of action than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, just wondering if it had potted the black. What is it next? A staring contest, maybe? Assure himself of the frame. There it is.
One.
Been hard fought. The last frame was 28.5 minutes. This is around about the same. Similar frames as well. Balls were all carved out that 50, but unlike the last frame, O'Sullivan didn't get in and clear up.
Eight. 11.
One thing's for sure, Selby. But he'll be pleased to win this frame after that wonderful clearance from O'Sullivan in the last.
26.
2 frames left then this afternoon. Goes to Mark Selby. It was hard fought. As I say, the
playing the double, I think. That's, of course, credit to Selby for stopping him doing it. Another typical Selby shot there. He felt that he could pot that, not leave anything. That's very well played.
Nine. That's Selby 9.
Well, he'd be really disappointed there because there was an early opening in a...
One.
Was the one that may have thought he had a bad contact on his previous. Anyway.
Seven. $50.
Shot now.
$23.
Gradually getting out. But very much thinking about the cue ball for
Mark
safety.
Selby, 28.
Sounds like the previous. Reds all heading towards that right corner. Ronnie desperately needs some cover. As the green comes.
One.
Just 1 point.
Mark Selby 1.
It's a good safety shot from O'Sullivan to get that thin edge. That's an incredible win off.
Wow.
I thought Ronnie had been
Mark.
lucky.
One.
in attendance. But whether there are or not, we will be there for the whole 8 days here on Eurosport, January the 10th to the 17th. Stuart Bingham.
4.
Maybe 4-2 up. But I think it's essential that he clears. He's not quite over the line yet.
Seven.
Not quite must win for O'Sullivan, but if he loses it, he's clearly in trouble. Get in early in these frames and sort of put his stamp on them. Going Mark Selby's way.
21. $29. $37.
Yes, he hasn't missed very many today. Fairly important shots, or seemingly important at the time, shots that he has missed. But it's been pretty reliable.
45.
The only... But I think, as we're saying, there is one more frame to play for him. The main, he's been sitting there watching Selby
52.
all afternoon.
That might just send him off with a break between sessions, feeling a bit better about
55.
things. But the main thing...
59. $64.
Career ranking titles.
70.
And he's only 4 frames away now from doing that. 77 clearance then
In the frame.
from Mark Selby. And not a good break off from Mark Selby.
One.
So, what a chance. Although the cue ball has stopped. And now
5. 6.
Yeah, played it well. If this was just played, undoubtedly it's one they both want to win.
there was a suspicion that it would go this way after the form of the two players this week, and sometimes that's all you can really go by when, you know, there's nothing between them, albeit they've got contrasting styles. But this week, Selby has been in better form than O'Sullivan. There's no doubt about that.
61% went for Selby, just on an opinion on who would win.
$22. $30.
Open red on. Got a high angle. I think the other red that's just sticking out slightly above.
38.
So playing on the loose one, but again, it'll... Now that was a surprise. It was
Selby
always a
45.
little bit top jaw, maybe a little slower.
First got a lead on the board. But here's a chance.
Didn't go to plan, did it? Much.
Well, he's missed the red.
There's an argument he might have put himself off there.
Anyway, it was a chance, but Mark Selby back at the table, 40 odd in front for a couple of shots. Mark Allen firmly denied it.
It's very hard to be statuesque when you're down there, sitting there watching. You've got to
7.
Still.
Selby 14. One.
So he's got one last push in this session. Sullivan, can he win this frame? There's just a trace of right-hand side. Yeah.
7.
And that right-hand side just took him into the blue rather than slipping beyond. And I tell you what, this would be... He could pull this up from his boots. This, just when you thought the frame and the session was done, this chance has cropped up.
Preparation needed here this afternoon. I think subdued is a good word, but he's played the cannon to open those two reds.
Done so. All this comes really down to that bottom red, and why wouldn't you play on it now? You're going to need...
Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Who saw that coming?
Ronnie 37.
Now 22 behind. In goes the red. Well, Selby needs the yellow, and it should be 6-2.
6.
Potted it well. Well, it's not the deciding frame, but it does seem when he had what looked like a golden chance to make the winning clearance.
13.
It's been a rather bitty afternoon. Made the breaks you might have expected from him.
18.
So it's advantage very much Mark Selby. Ends.
31.
And the Stephen Hendry Trophy awaits the winner, the first to 9 frames. One thing that O'Sullivan has struggled to do throughout this final so far is when he closed to 3-2, and it looked as though Selby was moving 4-1 up. But in the event, Joe, Selby won the last 3 of the afternoon for this 6-2 lead.
Yep, as you say, Ronnie O'Sullivan has had chat in that 8th frame. Wasn't the best break off. He gave Mark Selby a chance.
Okay, championship, but having decided to do so last season, he of course went on to win the title, beating Jack Lazowski in the final, and now just 3 frames away from retaining it.
An early chance for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Well, that's the worst possible start for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
1.
And played it well.
It took a long time for Selby before he won the English Open last season in
9.
very comprehensive Scottish Open as well, to become the first player to win 2 of these events in a single campaign, since matched, of course, by Judd Trump this season. Of this campaign, further evidence that he is back to his very best after a couple of seasons where he seemed to lose some.
25.
Preferred to play for the long red instead.
31.
Right in the middle. Always a good sign. And that makes it easier for the red directly above the black. So once it takes this red, in fact, it may even be on the other. And this is now looking good.
39.
Yes, it wasn't a difficult pot, was it? I've dropped it in dead weight for the black. But I saw some danger with that shot.
The overall record favours O'Sullivan quite significantly, 16 wins to 10.
54. $62.
And only needs. But it's Mark Selby. Barring snookers. No mistake. Again, right in the middle. No danger of missing. Needs a good kiss.
78.
And that wasn't it. Well, surprised. Not
Mark
interested
Selby,
in the
78.
century.
5 of them to be precise.
Nicely played. Well judged. Just got to get the feel of the table again. Maybe pot a few balls, if he gets the chance.
This afternoon, O'Sullivan looked to be trying to play on with just the black left, which seemed, even by Ronnie's standards, a bit left field.
Doesn't want to give Ronnie a chance to get a few pots going.
Awkward queuing, though.
Yeah, it was awkward queuing. Well played. Now they only pot them all. No choice then but to set them up.
Six.
Pink will go on the blue spot.
Where Walden played very well too. And then last evening's display against Jamie Jones, faultless. Well, he's not been quite as good as that today. And at the moment, bossing him.
Yeah, well, you can't do much more than
18.
win the frame at one visit, and that's what he did. Always nice to make centuries, I know, but most important thing is the frame.
24. 26.
Oh, what about that for a positional? To create that angle to get to the green.
29.
And as I said earlier, pot them all.
33. 38.
It felt like O'Sullivan needed a very... He's dominated the first frame. O'Sullivan
44.
failing to trouble the scorers. Breaks
51
of
from the
78, or in this case, the crystal wet. And Ronnie O'Sullivan, brilliant though he is, surely has to win this frame. Seems impossible to think.
They're all big from now on for Ronnie O'Sullivan. If you can keep him off 8, he'll think he's got a chance. But as Philip said,
Well, he did put together a 5-frame burst, of course, against Lee Hang from a very precarious 4-1. Every shot due care and attention, apart from those where perhaps he feels he had no choice but to hit and hope. But you couldn't question O'Sullivan's determination. It's just that it
speaks volumes for O'Sullivan. 4 new tips and he's in the final.
Yeah, and he could have been put away a couple of times, couldn't he? Let's be honest, Tian Peng Fei had to be in such forgiving mood.
Well, you can't do anything about it. If O'Sullivan finds some form, doesn't matter who you are, can't leave anything. He's played the 2-cushion escape and played it very well. He's unfortunate to have gone in off. That's where a new tip comes into play, because he's playing it full length of the table with a 2 there, so he caught it just a little bit too thick.
Which is excellent. 14 from 20.
Well, he's took a risk there, opening the reds up. But he's covered the easy one over the left corner, I think. Well, I am so surprised he's played that shot, because the double kiss is always on. And he...
One.
Round the black spot. Oh dear.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Well, he didn't just get down and play the same here. If he's playing down the table, the double kiss could be on. Just landing up to them. But he leaves the red to the middle if he doesn't get it right. Ronnie O'Sullivan. I don't know how you could have played that. I don't know how he could have played that. Well, it worked for him, and he's left a red to the middle, so it was a calculated risk, that one.
1.
I liked his attitude, the safety, where to put Mark Selby.
7.
Didn't drop his head, didn't just play down the table. Trouble again. Same shot, but this time
15. 23.
well, just gone through. And it's worked out okay.
31.
Didn't want the kiss. No.
302 for O'Sullivan.
39.
He might pull another 100 back here.
$47. 55.
Again, he's lost the cue ball a little for the red on the cushion. And he's overhit that one. Just pop. And he's not safe yet.
One.
That's the best way to play it. One good shot. Need.
Nine.
Good recovery. Oh, great chance now.
70. $25.
He wasn't perfect on the red. Now, pinning all his hopes on that last red. And that... So, needs a good shot with the rest, and he missed one like this earlier. Oh, he stayed out. What a let-off for Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's a relief for Ronnie O'Sullivan fans. He tried to make sure. He could have screwed it in, gone down for one of the colours. Nice.
10.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. This frame ball red himself, and it looked for all the world. Had Selby knocked in that red just now, the rest as though a seemingly hopeless task.
70.
As it is, he's won a reprieve, and Selby closing to within 4 again.
22.
Yeah, he'd have set his sights on 3, winning this set. Oh, what a kick. Didn't matter.
Sullivan 22. And the free.
A break of 62. Well, that great escape just now served as an inspiration for a memorable fight back.
Well, he's left that long red onto the right corner again. Don't think he's left a red on. Well, that's all he could do.
Selby looking for his 19th career ranking title, should he win.
Mustn't cannon that red. He's caught it a little thin. He could have left the red on here. Tried to bring the black into play, and that's just what he did. And he's finished very nicely on the brown. It's into them. And he's on one. And that...
6.
That dazzling century he made against Alan Taylor.
14.
Made another big 100 against Changwon now in a sustained way.
Yes, well, he's showing the fighting qualities, that's for sure. When he got another chance.
22.
when he broke down on 8. He's still fighting hard.
30. $38.
It's pretty rare to see Mark Selby miss with the rest, but actually he's only 3.
Well, he didn't go down for one of the ball colours, trying to play for the blue or pink.
1. $8.
Got to get top side of it though,
Yeah.
which he has done. All depends on the split, and it hasn't gone well. Good shot.
22.
And he's got the cue ball out to balk as well.
$25.
Well,
26.
frame till he missed with the rest. But there's no problem balls now.
$42. $50.
Made sure.
$56.
Selby. And put himself within one of the title.
$61.
Goodness me.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
Selby,
lot of
61.
pressure out there. And he's been fortunate to cover the green. Oh, can he get it safe? Oh, not a good kiss.
Well, having
No attempt.
out there. That was evidenced in Selby's miss on the green. Will it prove expensive?
That was a good safety. That's where he played the green. It's a great attempt. Long way off. A long way off. Oh, and the big fella.
That's Selby.
Hit this. And he's got to leave it safe.
And that's just what he's done. Trusted to luck a little. Get the green safe. The snooker's Well, that's just what's happened. Now, can O'Sullivan see the green? I think he can.
Just now,
3.
No. All or nothing.
Sullivan 3.
He'd have probably won the frame. And no mistake this time.
well, that would be a big relief for Mark Selby. This would have hurt. As it is, he's now back in full control of the final
9.
and closing in on his second consecutive. It's got an unexpected reprieve, but in missing the brown,
Mark Selby.
has he
9.
missed his last chance? Beg your pardon, 29 the difference. But either way, a very long way back with just pink and black to play with.
Yeah, he didn't try for the snooker. His first shot, he just tried to keep that pink on the table and get some table time. Hit it hard enough.
No problem, in goes the pink, and that could be in finals. He's won his last 10 out of 10 ranking finals. That is some achievement.
It certainly is. Now, O'Sullivan, point if not afford to miss from now on. His next miss could be his last one. Took the risk on hitting that red. He wanted to open the reds up. Yeah, but the tactic worked, didn't it? Because look at the reds. He knew he was leaving a lot of reds on if he missed that shot. Yeah, you expect him to pot it for sure. It's a good tactic. But now,
1.
dividends. If he could win the next two, 8-5. Just knocking 3 or 4 frames in
7.
the space of 20 minutes.
$25.
Beautiful little cannon he played there. Himself nicely on this red.
33.
Five reds, 5 blue.
41.
Although he has made 15 of them. More than anybody else. Including Steve.
Long. There's no longer the
49.
carrot of a 1 million more commonplace these days. This final, if it isn't to be in winning the actual
57.
trophy.
Well, they're certainly there. Needs some attention. His main concern at the frame safe. Oh dear. Just careless that. It's
So
not
it's
pressure
already
that.
64.
That's just care. Now Mark Selby,
1.
this frame.
Nine.
I was about to say this time round would be a good time to remove the red next to the pink. So if he can leave an angle on the blue here to play a cannon to the pink. Same plan.
23.
Just a little touch.
29.
It looked like, I still believe it, he just didn't give it enough care. Simple as that. So it's going to come down to the, well, the first part. Well, chose to screw it in, and he's perfect. He missed the green in the last frame, but I can't see him missing anything this time.
Done it twice in the Northern Ireland Open against the man.
51.
Watching Mark's look for all the world as though he was
54.
going to take us.
58.
And this would be a classy way.
63.
He's underhit it, though. He's underhit it. He's played it well. Just a
59.
little too hard. Just a little. But this for the title. It's there.
Mark
76.
Selby is still to be beaten.